What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Humble Warrior checking in with you. Um, Originally I was supposed to do a video earlier today, but I got caught up with having family time and stuff like that. But I want to do a quick video about the Brooklyn Nets. Um, so far they're 9-8. Um, as you know, they have the big three now: KD, Kyrie, and James Harden. They also have DeAndre Jordan in the lineup and Joe Harris. So here's my breakdown of the team. As far as acquisition goes, I think the James Harden trade was truthfully ridiculous. I think that they didn't really need him per se, but I think they got him because he wanted it to be there and be a part of something special. However, once he did arrive, I felt like he gelled instantly. The first two games he played in, he averaged 33, 14 assists, and like 6 or 7 rebounds. Assist-wise, he's been averaging nearly 12 a game. And even though they lost back-to-back games to the same Cleveland team, which if you watch those games, you'll see poor defensive effort, getting destroyed on the boards, second chance points and all. Like, they barely got any type of second chance points. It may have been here and there. So they got exposed pretty good with a mediocre Cleveland team. They also lacked any enthusiasm to even try to play any type of defense. Lackadaisical. Couldn't play man-on-man to save their lives. And then it then went to a zone. It got even worse. So it does go to show you when you make a trade, you give up certain players, you miss out on what you did have. Because, I mean, Jared Allen, he's very young, but he's very, very aggressive. Crashes the board, block shots. He made the rookie Perry look like he didn't belong in the league. I mean, he was getting his shit just beat out the block. So him and Prince are two key pieces I guarantee Brooklyn will probably like to have back, but they won't be able to get them because Cleveland has them now. As far as Kyrie goes, let me put this out here like this. I'm not going to bash Kyrie because he's a very, very great offensive player. However, I kind of wish that he would adapt to a free-flowing offensive system more. Yes, everybody knows when you have the ball in your hand, you're a spectacular one-on-one player. Brings to mind Allen Iverson, a young Derrick Rose in his prime, Westbrook, hell, even Tracy McGrady when he was young. Dynamic one-on-one player, dynamic. But team aspect, no. He barely passes the ball. Like, he has to penetrate and then dump it off, or penetrate and kick it out if he feels like it. Other than that, he's going up for a layup or some type of fadeaway jump shot or something to that degree to get his points. I think that in some sense he feels like he has to score as much as KD and Harden just to be relevant. However, most of these games that they're playing, he doesn't have to score above 20, and they still can win comfortably. He can assist the team in other ways: rebounds, defensive efficiency, locking down people with steals and stuff like that. He can assist by being a vocal leader, calling out sets, running offensive plays and stuff like that to get the offense more engaged and to ramp up the defensive intensity on the other side of the ball. In both of those areas right now, he's completely failing. I mean, they do a whole lot of ISO ball for no reason. You have Harden to bring the ball up. He'll pass it to Kyrie, and just like that of Melo, Kyrie's becoming the black hole. Nothing gets out. Once the ball falls in his hands, he's got to dribble, Uncle Drew you in the way, and then either he's going to go for a layup, a jump shot, or he may pass the ball off, depending on what the defensive set against him is. 9 times out of 10, he'll pass the ball if he's double teamed, but he normally tries to find Durant. If he can't find Durant, then he'll try to look off to Harden. Durant didn't play last night, so I mean, because he's not trying to beat himself up too bad, so he rested. But I'm gonna need Durant to. I'm not gonna say be an ass, but I'm gonna say he has to formally allow, or no, not allow. He has to formally demand that Kyrie fall in line. Okay, look, we know that you're a dominant player. We seen what you did at Cleveland before LeBron got there, but it didn't produce the wins. We seen what you did when you got to Boston, but because of the young core around you, that contributed more wins than what you did. So the pattern here is not a guessing game. Everywhere you go, you don't produce many wins. You just produce points. So is points on the board more important than winning? I mean, I'm sorry. Is points on the stat sheet more important than winning? No. Because I'd rather win and score nothing than score 40 a game and keep losing. Just point blank. If I can find other ways to contribute to win a game, that's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to waste my time trying to put up 32 points a game to prove that I'm a great player. I still can average my 15, 16 points a game, but we still can win. Even if we win by a point or 2 points, we still won. So I'd much rather be contributing to the winning column than the L column. Because right now, they're in a funk. I mean, they have no defensive presence. They have no big man they can depend on. And, as much as I hate to say it, DeAndre Jordan isn't better than Allen right now, Jared Allen. He's not. He's just a alley-hoop machine that they use for that purpose. So if I was them, I was looking to trying to get JaVale McGee. He's currently, I think he plays for, who is he playing for right now? He went to some, I don't know the team exactly off the top of my head right now, but I know he went to a team that's probably not even a playoff contender. I would look to trying to get him. You could trade or you can sign him from a team to your 3-man roster empty spot that you have. Allow him to become a defensive presence because once they get by your first line, he's right there. So he can either force a floater and block it, or he can let them pass and he can block it in the post. But you can get rebounds, you can get a dependable shot blocker in the post that's not going to allow so many free layups and free dunks. And therefore, your defensive efficiency will actually go up in comparison to where it is right now, which I think is probably one of the worst in the league out of the 30-some teams that's in there. So, they got to get this together. The three-point shooting it's okay. I mean, if it's in rhythm, they're good. But once they start getting right on the three-point line, it's a done deal. And the only reliable actual shooter they have is KD, but he shouldn't be expending energy on both sides of the floor. Now, if I was KD, I would focus more so on the defensive side because any given quarter, he can give you 25. That's guaranteed. But what they need is a defensive stopper where they can say, okay, look, this person is yours. This is your assignment. He doesn't get past 10. And depending on who it is, we're not talking about Giannis or LeBron, obviously, or AD, no play like that. But, most players in the NBA, they're going to score for so much. So if you put a defensive stopper on them, he's going to keep them in check. And Brooklyn needs that. Right now the only person they have that has a chance legitimately is probably KD. And he's not the greatest defensive player. He actually allows you to get your shot off. He'll block some, but for the most part, he's trying to get out there and run and get a free shot off. So they have a lot of areas that to fix. They also need a reliable power forward, a reliable center. Like I said again, they need a backup point guard to Kyrie who doesn't mind distributing the rock, because once James or Kyrie walk off the floor, the offense got to be facilitated by somebody. They have got to get that ball moving. Because the last game I saw against Cleveland, there was so much damn iso ball, I didn't know what to do. I was just so aggravated by the fact that people would stand in the corner and watch him dribble like he was LeBron James. And what Kyrie fails to realize is the entire defense won't collapse on you because you're not 6'8". You're 6'1", 6'2" at best. They're not going to collapse on you. They'll let you drive down the lane because the big man waiting on you. So you can either throw it off, get some kind of crazy-ass layup or fadeaway jump shot, or you can pull up as you penetrating to shoot it. But the offense right now that they're running, there's no sets. There's no actual signals for different plays to be ran on the court. And it's just Mills and Steve Nash letting them just go through the motion, because to me he's not even trying to communicate on the sideline. He's basically letting them do what they do. He's letting them learn by trial and error. Okay, well, you guys figure it out on the fly. What kind of damn coaching is that? So you don't chastise KD them or Harden or Irving because you're afraid of what the media is going to say. I mean, if I'm their coach, fuck that. KD, hey, I'm going to need you more on the defensive end. Harden, you're the point, but you facilitate. Kyrie, if you get up more than about 4 or 5 shots, you're going to have a serious problem. Because there's other guys that can contribute. You got Joe Harris, you got the Brown kid, you got other guys that's willing to actually do the dirty work and score. But if they're not getting the ball, they're not even touching the ball, they're just watching it go in and out of the rim, and they're fighting against a 6'7" dude to get a rebound, you really think they're going to continue to do that? Do you really think they're going to continue to give effort if they're not even touching the ball anymore? At least with Harden out there, people were touching the rock. It was actually moving around. And every now and then Harden wanted to, he could rock people to sleep and pull it back with a fader, or go Euro step and get in the inside the paint and lay it up. I mean, but with Kyrie, it's like, oh my God, dude, like, we watch you dance and nobody even touched the ball. Like, and what the hell am I doing jumping against a 7-footer? Am I really gonna get the ball? No. Unless he made the mistake of putting the ball down by his waist and I slap it out of his hand, that's the only chance I really got. So outside of that, they don't have a shot. So I'm going to need the coaching staff to get it together. As a head coach, there's no reason why you should be giving up huge runs. I can understand the 7-0 run, maybe even 11-0. Okay, as far as 11, yes. But 15, 16, 17 straight points, and you don't even make adjustments, you just call a timeout and sit there and watch them talk to each other like they're back in high school. Or you are talking, but nobody's hearing you? Do you think Phil or Red Auerbach or even Pop had that issue? You really think they had that issue with dealing with players? No, they had no issue with benching your ass, especially when you weren't playing the way you're supposed to play. Granted, yes, every player has their own style, yes. But when you're talking about a team effort and you're talking about a system that you're trying to implement, to run, to try to win a championship with, your individual skill set had nothing to do with this team. Because what you bring to the table, everybody else feeds off of it. Because they got their own flavor and own style they're going to put into it as well. So you're not better than the next person. You may be a hallmark name in the media, but at the end of the day, you're still a part of the organization of the Brooklyn Nets, which means they need you to play your role to help them win. So they play the Heat tonight. I'm hoping that things will turn around. We'll see. I'm going to follow the game throughout the night to see what the score is and see how they're looking. But if they don't get it turned around, they can be looking at an early playoff exit, because the Bucks is not that big of a threat, but the 76ers are the real deal. They're not going to take lightly getting beat by, by a 3-headed Brooklyn team that can barely rebound against a high school squad. And no disrespect to them, but they have to do something to sign 3 noticeable players, at least that'll contribute on the rebounding department and defensive end. If the only thing you brought KD, Kyrie, and Harden in to do is score, then you need some type of defensive unit to help keep the game from getting out of hand, or at least give them the advantage to put up more points and hold other opponents at bay. So Steve Nash has a lot of homework to do. It starts tonight, though, because they're playing Miami. But, again, he has a lot of work to do, because they're not even on the Clippers nor the Lakers level as of this moment. Talent-wise, yes. Chemistry-wise, hell no. They won't even beat the Clippers. Really won't beat the Lakers here. I'm going to be real. They really won't beat the Lakers. But that's enough about this video, guys. I'll be coming back, I guess, midway during the season or something like that to get my thoughts on where they stand and how it's looking now versus the early part of the season, which is what's going on right now. Leave your comments. Let me know what you think. Peace.